I can create from the music, or sometimes happen to be music there, and I can reinforce by the sound, and then I can bring up something. But not any music. Some kind of movement with undertone is going through, and that is for me. Depend on what I'm making, not always using music, but it's nice to have a music and I can excite about. Balloon is just beautiful. Balloon, I use this, Charles Ives. The music was so tender, so beautiful, and yet, always some part is cut stuck. So it's all wonderful, change, excitement, stuck, excitement, heavy, excitement, and floating up. So each time there's a kind of conversation with this object.
Yass Hakoshima's connection with theater and music started early in Japan. His mother studied opera, and as a child he was drawn to storytelling and marionettes. He danced with the Yokoyama Ballet, but it was not long before he fell under the spell of the great French mime, Marcel Marceau.
If I think about now, what the most struck one is how much the silence and how much he brought the most popular, most understandable gestures, the everyday life from morning to night, how people move, and he picked the most universal.
Yass began to experiment with mime, and soon he moved to New York, where he also studied modern dance. It was at choreographer Eric Hawkins' studio where he met his future wife and partner, the modern dancer Renate Boué.
I had always been interested in Japanese poetry, in haiku specifically, and in Japanese art, and maybe somehow that attracted me to him. He had been doing mime at that point previously in Japan already, and he was doing mime in New York also. At that time there was Etienne Decroux, who was the teacher of Marceau, and Yass was taking lessons with him. And I think it was in the Carnegie Hall studios where he taught at that time.
It was the 60s, and the beginning of a wave of interest in mime that put Yass's career in high gear, sending him and Renate around the world.
I just did it for bread and butter, motorsport. I didn't do much creation because so busy. Yes, why don't you program A, program B, program C, or this one program C, and put a little A, something like this. It's become like this. It's wonderful. So therefore I went everywhere. It
was an exciting life, but it was a very tiring life too, because we had 2 children whom we had to take with us on tour. We chose to take them with us because we have no family in this country. Yass's family lives in Japan, my family lives in Germany. The way that we grew together, as a unity happened through all our travels all over the world, through the performances in Taiwan, in South America, in Central America, in Europe. And it was a taxing time, and that's how you connect, how you grow together.
In the 70s, Yass and Renate created a home base for their travels, an old carriage house in Montclair, which they renovated themselves.
It took us 5 years to build it up and develop it, and because nobody had ever lived in this place, only horses. All the work was done with our own hands, mainly Yass's hands, but I had some sanding to do as well. So gradually we got the space so that we could actually use the studio with a beautiful oak floor and mirrors.
The Carriage House is the headquarters for the Yass Hakoshima Movement Theater. It's the place where Yass rehearses and creates. Black Angel is one of his signature works. In performance, he is covered entirely by heavy black cloth, moving in total darkness.
I can see a thing. I can see completely black. So you have to feel it, and then your hand out and a mask. So sometimes you change the mask, left hand, right hand, which is really effect. It is so complicated. Left hand, my right hand in the body moves so well, but this is get little empty. It's just like an argument of this. My body is arguing, hey, which is better? And it's very interesting.
Yass Hakoshima has devoted himself to the art of mime for almost 50 years, and he's still fascinated by it.
So the mind is acting, and the body is acting. It's whole things together, so it's going like that.
To see more work by Yass Hakoshima and many other artists, visit State of the Arts online at njn.net/arts.